Morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulites. This is Angela with another edition of Notes on the News, not news, where I share with you my thoughts about what's going on in the world that I hear about from the people. I'm usually reading from my news feed, and it's not news, it's just my thoughts and my opinions. If you want the news articles, you can usually find the links on my Twitter page, which is BIgNoseLUV, BEFABULOUSYOU at twitter.com. So, look, I don't know about the legality of stuff, so I'm just going to say this. And those of you who know what I'm talking about, you'll know what I'm talking about. If somebody followed my husband or me around for 1 year, researching, taking pictures, trying to get dirt, I'm thinking that there is going to be a picture of my husband holding hands with another woman, a picture of my husband kissing another woman in the mouth passionately, a picture of my husband having sex with another woman, a video of my husband having sex with another woman. I'm thinking that there's going to be a picture of my husband touching another woman's behind or her breastises. I'm thinking that if someone did a year-long investigation, they would have some dirt. So when I first heard the story, I was like, oh, well, I didn't know. But when I thought about it, I'm like, really, there's not really, I didn't see any pictures or anything that made me, I'm like, well, I don't really, except for the fact that this particular person, who I'm not naming any names, but on her television show that comes on every day, 5 days a week, a lot of times I get the impression from what I can remember that she don't really believe in, like men having relationships with women as friends. But other than that, everything looks like it could just be a friendly relationship. So if you wanted somebody to be discreet, and I have heard people say that, her instructions were just to be discreet, I think that he has done an excellent job of being discreet. And furthermore, I looked at the picture of his name on the mailbox and I was confused because I felt like as a photographer, I could have taken a little label, like a number 72 label, Avery number 22 or whatever it is that you would use on your file folders or to mail a letter. And I could have put that on the mailbox and written anything there. That was not proof to me. I didn't see any picture of the mail in that box that was going to that person. And we were like, oh, well, there's probably, once we discussed it, me and my mother, and analyzed it, we were like, oh, probably tomorrow they're going to come with the real dirt. So that's all I'm saying. I'm just kind of surprised that a year's worth of research, a year's worth of followation, yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm not saying that somebody is dealing with somebody else or not, because I don't really know. But I do know that I didn't see any pictures where I was like, ooh, I could see it. I just saw pictures of a man and a woman going to the grocery store, a man walking next to her coming from the gym. They weren't touching. It didn't look intimate to me. Somebody sitting on her balcony on the balcony making phone calls. That could be a friend. I spend time with male friends. That's how it looks, just like that. And we not effing. Okay. Gaspar Yanga, African leader of fugitive slaves in Mexico. It might have been this story I read, or it might have been another story, but these people who had been formerly enslaved, who freed themselves, they were fighting, they were keeping their freedom, and then they negotiated a treaty where, and this is a part of the treaty I didn't like, this is what I want to say, where when Africans came to them, who were, they would turn them back over to the Europeans to be enslaved. That is some bull. If I ever am in a situation, I always want to fight on the side of right and on the side of justice. So God, this is a prayer to the Lord above, to the Lord within, to the Lord around. Please help me to be, to know what's right and to have the courage to do what's right and to speak the truth. I said what I said. Okay. My little leg is getting numb. Trio of brothers allegedly lured black teen to meeting, then fatally shot him. So that's 3 brothers got this teen to come to this meeting, and then they shot him and killed him. Rest in peace, brother. Meet the 12-year-old trailblazer fighting for equality in kids' books. And we've seen her all over the place. This little girl who was trying to find 1,000 books that had black girls in the lead because she was tired of reading about little white boys and their dogs. She wanted to read about people like her too. So anyway, it was a nice little article. Check it out on Be Fabulous You or wherever you find it. Dr. Seuss was famous. He drew those sad racist ads and then totally changed his mind, according to this headline. Now, I used to have a collection of Dr. Seuss books, except for they got destroyed in a fire and a flood. And even Green Eggs and Ham. I am Sam. Sam, I am. I do not like that Sam, I am. I do not like that Sam and I am. Well, do you like green eggs and ham? I do not like them, Sam, I am. I do not like green eggs and ham. That's my dramatic reading. So I love Dr. Seuss's books. And then when I read an article about a year or two ago about him being racist and the little ads and illustrations he had done about Native people probably in Africa and Asian people, and it was kind of offensive. And so I was kind of like, well, I guess it's good that my collection is burnt up, and I'm gonna try to erase, because I just love the book so much. I had learned it but this article is like, he grew and he evolved, and I don't know, but it was just interesting to me, because I guess the reason that this article was written is because our former First Lady, Obama's wife, Michelle Obama, was sending out Dr. Seuss books to schools. And so the current First Lady has done the same thing. She's basically followed in her footsteps. She sent out Dr. Seuss books to the kids, to libraries or schools or whatever. And some people have been like, see, she just racist. But Michelle Obama did it. So I guess they're trying to, clean up his, But anyway. Catalan referendum clashes as voters defy Madrid. Madrid was like, Spain was like, no, y'all can't have no vote to see if you want to be free. We forbid it. And the people are like, oh, we gonna have the vote. We done bought the ballot boxes. We got the stuff printed out. Oh, we gonna have the vote. And so Spain was going around looking, finding the paperwork and destroying that. And last I heard, they was trying to find the ballot boxes that had been ordered and paid for, and they couldn't find them. And, so it's just a clash. And the people were like, no, we gonna do what we want to do. But I'm kind of like, so are these people like, the Republic of New Africa, where, people were like, well, African Americans should have 5 states in the South: Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia. I don't know what 5 states, I don't remember, but these should be the black state. This should be the African American states. This is where, we should all have a nation there. And this should be our place where we can have our freedom and have our sovereignty. And if we ever get to the point where we taking this land, this going to be our place, and then the United States government is like, no, you have to be citizens of the United States. You could only be second-class citizens, but you going to be citizens because we said what we said. And then we be like, no, we going to vote. We going to, And so is it like that? Or is it like in the United States Civil War, when the southern states were like, you're not going to tell me that I can't enslave black people. I don't care, because I'm going to enslave black people and I'm going to make money. And that's what the people who had money were saying, because the other people, they ain't really had no money. But they were just invested because they like, if I ain't got nothing, I got being white, and I'm going to fight for the right to have slaves. So it's somebody who's under me and who doing worse off than me, and I can feel better about. And so we go into war, and the United States is like, no, y'all can't separate and become a separate state. And they were like, we going to separate and become a separate country, and we going to take all our wealth with us. Because, when you have people working for you for free, you can get very wealthy. So they were getting very wealthy. They had a lot of wealth and a lot of resources. And the North was benefiting off of these resources as well, right? Because as I understand it, even though we were down south picking cotton, they was up north refining cotton, or they were part of the trade too. These brothers, they brothers. The South and the North are brothers. They all in the same family. They're all benefiting. It was, we weren't benefiting. But, or is it like that? Like we're Catalonians, like we're wealthy and we want to go, and they might be doing something unrighteous, but they want to leave because they got, I don't know. The world, it'd be so many different dynamics, and so much this has gone on historically, and how do you tell the story, and how do you tell the story coherently, and you can hear the story from different perspectives, and how do you know what the truth is? But anyway, Edmonton, 5 injured in Canada, quote unquote, terror incidents. Rest in peace. Germany, gay marriage. Couple are first to marry under new law. Air France plane engine fails over Atlantic, but I think they landed. I don't think anyone was hurt. But they flying and the engine fell. You ever been in a plane? I ain't never been on a plane where the engine fell, but I've been in a plane. What are you in the plane? And they like, the engine fell. And you be like, oh, Lord. Police use batons on crowd in Barcelona. Equifax breach shows signs of a possible state-sponsored hack, i.e., it's not just me, I'm going to hack Equifax and get to people's information. But it's like the government of maybe China. I think it was China in the thing, but don't quote me in the article. Or they said it had like I think what the article was saying is that it seemed like they started the hack, and then when it reached a certain point, the hack got turned over to more advanced hackers for the hackation of the Equifax. It's like a government. When they say state, they mean like government sponsored, not just like an individual or an organization or a corporation, but like a government is involved, Okay. John Oliver Killens, founder of the Harlem Writers Guild. I wish I could be a part of a writers guild. They probably have writers guilds and stuff in Detroit. They have a group of people who write plays together. I want to be a part of something that's like historical, but I don't know what it is. Austria bans full face veils. Active shooter reported at Air Force Academy hours after cadets disciplined over racial slurs. This was from Saturday, y'all. Today's Monday. Bali volcano. What is it like waiting for an eruption? That's the headline. So I think it's been at least a week. There's a volcano that seems to be getting like it's going to erupt. It's going to erupt any day now. So they've been evacuating people from the zone, but it hadn't erupted. Like when we were watching the hurricane, we were tracking the progress of Harvey and Irma and different ones. It's like you could more or less estimate, this hurricane is probably going to make landfall in the Caribbean on this day and on the mainland on this day or whatever. But with the hurricane, with the volcano, I don't think they know exactly when it might erupt. So they just don't know. So you get evacuated from your home and you just don't know when and if it's going to erupt. Is that how it works? So anyway, but you sure don't want to be in the path of lava. I don't, because that's kind of hot and intense and you're going to die. It don't seem like it. Isn't he death pleasant? Maybe some, I don't know. Not one African leader made a text statement at UN assembly. Catalan referendum. Activists occupy school ahead of vote. So I think they went to the school because the government is like, y'all ain't gonna y'all vote in schools and churches, so y'all ain't gonna use. And the activists were like, yes, we are. And as a matter of fact, we in the school now. Take me out of the school because we about to have our voting here. That's what I think was going on. So they occupied the school like, you try to put me out. Sex dolls are replacing China's missing women. And the article kind of talked about the fact that, because there's like a limit, as I understand it, on the number of children that people can have in China, and there's like more valuation placed on a male child than a female child, there's like a shortage of women. And so sex dolls are replacing women. A sex doll can't replace a woman. They trying, I guess. I guess. Katz's vegetarian sandwich is a total troll to non-meat eaters. It's like this big old pile of cheese on some bread. That's what I think the article was saying. I don't think I ever went to Katzs. I think it's in New York Deli, but I don't think I ever went there. Malaysians in a lather over laundrette for Muslims. So a laundrette, I think, is a laundromat. And the laundromat is like Muslims only because, some people interpreted it to say, like, because we're cleaner and we don't want your unclean heathen ways in our laundromat while we trying to wash our clothes and get them clean. We don't want your damn damnation. That used to be this song I made up. Damn contamination. They don't want your contamination in their clothes. That's how some people interpreted it. I don't know. Man survives 25-kilometer ride hanging onto side of German train. I think he had put his stuff on the train, and then he probably turned around to do something, and then the train had started moving, and he's like, oh my gosh. And his immediate response was to like jump and try to get his, but he didn't quite get in, so he was just hanging on to the outside. In 25 kilometers, is that like 12 miles, or is that like 40 or 50 miles? I don't know how to make the translation. A fail for the American educational system, but 25 kilometers. 22 beautiful churches you need to see in Europe in your lifetime. I was like, I ain't clicking on that article because I see some beautiful churches in Detroit. Y'all, I clicked on the article. I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. It's very interesting. An Asian customer says Starbucks barista wrote Ching, Ching, on his cup in a racist incident. So, when they ask, what's your name? And you be like, Angela. And they wrote Ching. The person maybe said Julie or John, or I don't know what he said his name was, but he probably didn't say Ching. But that's what they wrote on the side of the cup. It's somebody at their job dealing with the public, all different kinds of people. America. Juanita Kidd Stout, first African-American female elected judge in the United States. Yay! Finally, there's a website dedicated to celebrating big noses on Black women. I just saw the cover thing. She was cute. I like a big nose. Do I have a big nose? I like a big nose. I think African features are beautiful. African people are beautiful to me. But I'm an African person. So I should love myself and love people who are like me, I guess. Or I don't know if I should or I shouldn't, but I do. Trump has crossed a major mark as he tries to quietly cement a lasting legacy. So Trump is making judicial appointments. And the thing about a lot of judicial appointments is that even when you are no longer in office, those appointments tend to be like a lasting appointment. Like if you get appointed to the Supreme Court, then that's until you die or you resign. Has anybody ever resigned from the Supreme Court? Yeah, I guess people do resign because they get ill. But that's basically people up in the Supreme Court. They 60, 70, 80. 90 years old. Who's the oldest person in the Supreme Court? But that's like just basically a lifetime appointment. And I think it's similar in other branches of the judiciary. It's like a long-term appointment. And the article was saying how I think he's made recommendations or suggestions of over 100 people. And that's way more than the previous, like Obama or Clinton or Bush had made. So, somebody probably told him that's how you leave a legacy. And so that's what he's doing, Mr. Zero. Cinematographers Guild now says former treasurer Alan Gitlin stole nearly 300 G in hotel points. A CEO spent $6 million to close the gender pay gap at his company. They did some analysis. They like women are paid less than men. So they adjusted the stuff. And then they had to do it again. I can't remember what company it was. But I think it was a company I had heard of. I can't remember. Video. Man urinates on Black Lives Matter chalking at the University of Michigan. We are dying, Puerto Rico mayor says the island is inching closer to a genocide. I thought it was interesting, the language of genocide, and I was kind of curious about it. Mexico quake, despair grows for families of the missing. So, I think that's what I have. I really wanted to talk about that story about the news reporter, the person, not the news reporter, but the person who has a television show, who has hot topics and talks a lot of gossip about other people. And then she said on her show, now she's become a hot topic, but she didn't really say anything, but I still got the ring, or I stand by my man, or I don't really know what she said. But anyway, that was just my thoughts about it. I mean, I don't know who knows what's in somebody else's heart. I don't know her, I don't know him. And I don't know if I really care, but I just thought it was interesting that somebody did research for a year. And y'all got more? Daily Mail, Daily Fail, Daily Mail. Y'all got more? I'm not encouraging you to go out and get more, because I guess that's their business. I was going to say, we all got business to tend to. That ain't none of our business, but I guess that's their business. But is that standard operating procedure to do a year-long investigation? So that's what I got. I'm Angela. The channel is Be Fabulous You. Thank you so much for listening, commenting, watching, subscribing, sharing. Today is the best day ever. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Oh, be